Did you know a man survived both atomic bombs? What are the chances of surviving one atomic bomb? Almost none. But what if someone survived two? Could a person really live through the most destructive force on Earth twice? And what would that do to a human being? Physically? Mentally? Spiritually? It was a bright, quiet morning in Hiroshima. People were going to work, children were headed to school. But at exactly 8:15 a.m., everything changed. A blinding flash. A fireball brighter than the sun. Buildings vanished. Lives were erased in seconds. Over 140,000 people died. But one man lived. His name was Tsutomu Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi was just 3 kilometers from ground zero. His body was burned. His eardrums burst. He somehow survived. But the nightmare wasn't over. What would you do if you escaped death like that? Would you run? Would you hide? Would you ever trust the sky again? Incredibly, the next day, despite his injuries, Yamaguchi boarded a train back to his hometown, Nagasaki. Can you imagine that? After facing the worst horror imaginable, he returned to what he thought was safety. But just 3 days later, on August 9th at 11:02 a.m., history repeated itself. Another bomb. Another sky that turned white. Tsutomu was again just a few kilometers from ground zero. And once again, he survived. How is that possible? Is it luck? Destiny? A cruel twist of fate? To understand how Tsutomu survived, we need to ask, what happens when an atomic bomb explodes? Temperatures reach over 1,000,000 degrees. The shockwave crushes buildings. Radiation poisons everything. So how did one man survive 2 such blasts? Did he find shelter in time? Was it pure coincidence? Or did something about his body, his instincts, save him? Experts say it's a combination of timing, geography, and sheer willpower. But even more fascinating is how he survived after. What happens to someone's mind when they've stared death in the face, not once but twice? Yamaguchi was not just physically injured, he was haunted. He lost friends, co-workers, his city, yet somehow he found strength. He returned to work. He raised his family. He even helped others rebuild. Could you find hope after all that loss? Could you still believe in humanity? Years later, he became a voice for peace, a living witness of the horrors of war. He didn't become bitter, he became a warning. He said, "The only people who should see the horrors of war are those who intend to wage it." What kind of strength does it take to turn pain into purpose? For decades, very few knew Tsutomu's story. He wasn't in textbooks. He wasn't in documentaries. What? Was his story too unbelievable? Too uncomfortable? Or was it just forgotten in the chaos of history? What other stories have we missed? How many silent heroes walk among us every day? Today, Hiroshima and Nagasaki are rebuilt, full of life, laughter, music, but the scars remain, hidden, passed on, remembered. Tsutomu Yamaguchi's life reminds us that we are both fragile and incredibly strong, that even in the darkest hour, a single person can survive twice and still believe in peace. He died in 2010 at age 93, a man who saw 2 suns fall from the sky, a man who should have died, but didn't, a man whose story still echoes across time. If one man can live through 2 atomic bombs, what else are we capable of surviving? And what will we choose to do with the time we've been given? Remember the past, shape the future.